Hi everybody, it's Sophie and Marco dish out on the movies, TV, and a few books. Now we're going to talk about Children of the Corn, based on a short story by Stephen King. The movie premiered in 1984, starring Peter Horton, Linda Hamilton, the late R.G. Armstrong, John Franklin, and Courtney Gaines. Of course, the opening scenes show fields and fields of corn. Joby walks out of the Grace Baptist Church of Gatlin, Nebraska, with his father by his side. His sister is sick and feverish at home and being taken care of by his mother. Joby and Dad head to the cafe where he gets a strawberry shake, while his dad calls on the payphone to check on his little sister. While he talks on the phone, outside in front of the cafe, a teenager wearing a flat-brimmed dark felt hat nods his head, and teenage boys from outside the cafe enter, locking the door behind them.
And they all do a flash dance and the movie ends.
They join other teenage boys in killing everybody in the cafe.
Whoa.
Except Joby. Throughout the rest of the day in Gatlin, all adults in town are massacred, but this is not shown, and the children remain alive, all because Isaac, the boy with the hat, has aligned himself with a, quote, monster in the cornfield who demands they get rid of every adult. Malachi, a long red-haired maniacal sidekick, wears a machete strapped to his belt and leads the anti-fun police. Not really, but if he catches any of the kids playing games or drawing, and I'm talking about like Monopoly, he reports them to Isaac. Don't ask me what the punishment is or if there's punishment, because I don't know. They never show anything or say anything. Jobia and Sarah's friend, a boy, escape with a suitcase, but he is cut down by Malachi in a cornfield. They didn't show him doing it, just a view of the machete hanging from his belt. Stricken with life-threatening wounds, the boy wanders into the road and gets mowed down accidentally by Vicky and Bert, who are on their way to Bert's job interview. He's a doctor and determines that someone had stabbed the boy almost to death before they hit him with their car. Okay, Marco, what do you want to say about the movie?
I'm sick of not having any good Children of the Corn movies. Because the first one, it was okay. The second one, I haven't seen, but I'm not going to see it. The third one was really good. The fourth one was okay too. The fifth one wasn't good at all. The sixth one was a piece of crap. The seventh one, I don't even acknowledge exists. And now they have straight-to-DVD Children of the Corn movies. And screw them. And so I don't know what they're doing. And this movie has a lot of problems with it. And I don't even know why it got a sequel. Because the music is so overpowering and it destroys the atmosphere that it's trying to create and all the sound that they do and not showing any of the kills. I mean, basically, they think this is scary. Okay, so picture there's a guy standing in the dark and you see a close-up of the knife and then you hear a lot of overpowering music and then you cut away. Wow, that's really scary. And then you have there's just so many, and this movie's boring too. You watch this movie, I used to love this movie, you watch it, the opening scene takes the cake,
Yeah, in the cafe.
And then the rest of the movie is
It's a weak follow up. Yeah.
boring.
I would like to read the story. I looked for it. I'd have to go to the library. I was going to try to find it on Hoopla.
It's on Google. And so I liked,
I'll go to the library.
there's a few things I liked. I liked when Malachi yells Outlander. He's like, Outlander!
And Malachi is that long,
That's-
red-haired boy
It's not
who's
scary, it's funny.
maniacal. It is funny, and it's memorable. I mean, we don't even have to watch the movie more than once to remember that Outlander and his face and the way he acted. And you always see that machete hanging from his belt. And he makes this bad look, like, yeah.
He always looks like he's constipated.
Well, he's mean. He always has a mean look, and I mean, I can't forget it. And Isaac, although he's not as formidable, I don't believe, as Malachi, you can't forget his hat. It's a very unusual hat. That's why I keep bringing
He
it
only
up.
wears it once.
Oh, well,
Doesn't
and then, but he wears the rest. He wears a black coat,
just wears all black and
which is weird.
And I hated that stupid. Oh, okay, this isn't spoiler, so I'll just. Those were my simple thoughts of the movie. I thought it was very boring and very. I mean, it had a lot of jump scares that did not work. It had a lot of overacting. It had a lot of. I mean, the kids in the cornfield, they didn't even look like kids. They looked like midgets. And so.
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
I don't care. And so I didn't like that either. And I didn't like how it was expanding so much on the short story that they're given no backstory, yet they're given backstory. And there's so much that's unexplained in this movie. It's worse than Stepfather 2, because in Stepfather 2 at least there's a simple story there. In this one, it's just lazily put together, sloppy work. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Simple thoughts.
To review it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you want me to tell what I gave it?
No, not yet.
Well, I felt like it had way too many unanswered questions, which were important to the story. I mean, like somebody appears in your town one day, a kid, not a little kid, teenager, and they say, and somehow a monster appears all of a sudden, and they're together somehow, and then the kid says, okay, all you other kids, you kill your families, your parents and your grandparents, and then just blindly follow us for nothing. I mean, what the heck? So where did Isaac come from? We don't know. How is he aligned with the monster? We don't know.
Maybe he brought the monster to the town.
Well, maybe.
Which,
Why did the kids let Isaac tell them what to do? Where did this monster come from? And when did he appear? Etc., etc. There are too many unanswered questions. I don't like that. But the best part of the movie for me was Courtney Gaines, who played Malachi. You'd think somebody with a name like Courtney, no offense, would be a girl, but that's his name. And he plays a great sadistic killer you would not want to tangle with anywhere at any time. And then the thing where he yells, because if you come in there, like Bert and Vicky were from out of town, they were coming through there, they were going that way to go to a job interview, which was what I said. But anybody who is not from the town is called an outlander. So every time he would call them outlander, and we will remember that forever. And so I think he's the best part of the movie. So anything the anyway, the another thing that really is bad, and Marco will be the first one to agree, would be the monster representation is crap.
Well,
I don't even know how to describe it. It's like they got a green pen and made a squiggle on the film.
a
And
red pen.
well, I thought there was a green light or
It's
something.
like they actually drew something over the film. It looks so bad it's not even funny.
Yeah, it's like they drew something on the film. And I mean, come on, really?
They had all this money. What did they do with it?
Well, they just didn't get the right people to do an effect for the better effect for the monster. They had this thing where you would see the corn parting, making a part. It would start parting away, and then you would see the ground. It would
That's
make
really
this
scary.
snaky
Ooh,
thing coming closer and closer. You could feel the tension,
I'm really scared.
and like, whoop-de-doo. Okay, and then in the ultimate, the finale, what do they show? Like the sky, it's like the wind is blowing and the sky
Explosion.
is dark. It's exploding, and you see this squiggle on the on the film. Like they got a pen and they made a squiggle with a pen, a green or a red squiggle. I don't know. I thought it was green. He thinks it's red. But whatever. It looks like a squiggle. Like they got a pen. They just made a squiggle.
Alright,
Mark.
so. Wanna rate it? What would you rate it?
I gave this movie a BLT without the L and the T, which means a bacon sandwich without lettuce and tomato.
Oh, gross.
Because it's incomplete.
I gave this movie a tiny little bowl of popcorn because it had some popcorny moments, like Malachi yelling Outlander.
Outlander!
And then I gave it another tiny bowl of candy corn because that represents the massacre scene in the diner, which is the only good scene in the whole movie. So, let's talk spoilers. So I guess the motto of this movie is if you go to a town where you find that the kids have taken over, you commit an act of terrorism.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Because they burnt down the entire cornfield.
Oh. Well, the fact that Bert and Vicky, they have a body of a child in their car, which they picked up on the road because they ran into it. And like I said, he's a doctor, and he determined that the boy. This is the boy that had the suitcase that was shown leaving, and then Malachi cut him down. And he determined that he'd been murdered and that he would have died. He was dying when they killed him. So it wasn't. They were scared that they had killed him, but he was already pretty much dead when they hit him with the car. And they go to the town. And
walk around.
They walk, but there's nobody there. There's no adults or anybody there. And they have some kind of thing like that to me, that would be a red flag. And that would mean go on. Keep going. Don't stay. Keep going. There's something wrong here.
I guess they screwed up with the road signs. Ooh.
Oh, they screwed, yeah. The kids, fixed the road signs. They were messed up.
That's not something you want to happen when you're out in the middle of nowhere like that.
No.
So.
and if anybody knows what it's like to be in an area with corn everywhere, it's boring and repetitive, and it is kind of scary because if you were in a cornfield and you just started walking, you could probably get lost pretty fast.
All the scare factors taken out by the horrible, cheesy crap.
Monster.
Well, the cheesy scares and they don't show the kills, and you have that old man and they think that it's scary that all these hands are rising up with weapons in them. I mean, they think that's scary. It's not scary. It's boring. Maybe you want to fall asleep. I almost fell asleep in this movie, and I shouldn't be falling asleep when I'm watching a horror movie in October.
Yeah. So anyway, my objective is to read the short story to see if any of these questions are answered, which I kind of think they're not going to be, because a short story is limited amount of words and space to tell a story. It's really just the main horror of it all, and the movie actually, if that's the case, which I don't know yet, the movie could have expounded on that because they had more time and they had good actors. I mean, you have Linda Hamilton, you have Peter Horton. I mean,
But
they're not.
all you did with them is have them walk around.
Yeah, I'll walk around and look worried. And that's it.
Right. They should compile all the footage of that guy walking around. And
how many minutes of that took the movie?
No, I'm going sorry. And then they should put a filter on it that makes it look a little darker, and then they should upload it on YouTube. And instead of Children of the Corn clip, they should put all new episode of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's right. I guess it would be. Yeah.
Because that's all that happens on that show. So.
Marco. A lot of people like that shit.
I don't care.
Say anything.
So, do we have anything else to say?
No, I think we're done.
Okay.
So, thanks everybody for putting up with our reviews, and I hope you liked them, and you keep listening and give us a good review or some kind of review.
This show is to listen to. It's not to watch the black screen. The reason why there's a black screen is because it's a podcast format, and so we want you to be doing things and listen to this, and maybe even put it in a playlist and listen to all of them. You can just listen for hours and hours while you clean the environment or something. Clean up the cornfields.
Oh my God. That's right. We have a cornfield in the back of our house, and it's not been fixed up yet.
It's not been invaded by murderous little kids either.
No.
So.
It hasn't been invaded by anybody. Except for raccoons from bringing ears of corn into the yard. Okay, we're done.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You want to redo all this? Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, too.